Hello YouTube, Metal Trooper 62 here, and this video is on another AK parts kit I just received in the mail yesterday. This is a Polish Tantal WZ88, and just a tiny brief history of what these are. Again, these are Polish Tantals WZ88. These were made in the FB Radom factory in Poland. They were made from 1989 until 1994, but there was a few years of development and trials and stuff prior to that. They were withdrawn from service in 2005. So, let's see where to start. Okay, there's a little bit of different things about this. The Polish Tantal, it shoots the 545 by 39, which is what the AK-74s run. There was a few little bit differences, and I'll just kind of go over those as I go through the parts. First off, this is the front sight block and flash hider muzzle attachment. This muzzle attachment would also fire rifle grenades, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it just really bothers me that they cut these barrels up. These barrels are these are cold hammer forged chrome line barrels. Very one of the best barrels out there. But back in 2005, they decided, hey, you bring in these historical military kits, you gotta chop the barrels up. It just pisses me off that they do this shit. I wish I would have bought one of these back before then, so I could have had a original barrel. Because actually, what I could see through these barrels, this barrel was in pretty good shape. But okay, so I digressed. But anyway, there's the gas block, and this is the upper and lower handguard retainer. Some of these had a lever, and then this one has the screw head, which I would have preferred to have the lever one, but it is what it is. I was glad to pick this kit up at an amazing price, and this kit was one of the most complete Tantal parts kits I've seen in quite a while. But and then this is the gas tube, which, if you're familiar with the AK gas tube, it's definitely different. And here we have, there's a notch right there where the upper handguard went into. And there's the upper handguard, and there's a little notch. And trying to do this one-handed. But the gas tube would fit in there like this. And then that notch on the upper handguard would fit in that slot on the rear sight block. But the upper handguard is plastic. The lower handguard is Bakelite, which this one is, it's got some scratches and scuffs and everything, but I should be able to refurbish it a little bit using this stuff right here, mineral oil. It does pretty good on Bakelite. And the pistol grip is Bakelite also. And this pistol grip, again, it's got some scratches and stuff and scuffs, but it otherwise it looks actually pretty good. And this is your pistol grip screw. And this is your upper handguard retaining. It's like a tension spring or something like that. And then this one is for the lower handguard. Okay, and go back to the rear sight block and trunnion. Pretty much typical to AK trunnions and rear sight blocks. This parts kit is 1990 if my camera would freaking focus. And this is an all matching parts kit. And then this kit did have some of the receiver sections, which is pretty cool because you can see the selector markings in that, and you could add those to your, if you're trying to make it, as original looking as possible. The only thing that I'm going to be able to salvage off of this, obviously, is the selector stop. But I think it's cool that it's got the center support and then parts of the rails. Let's see. And it's got the typical AK-74 bolt and bolt carrier. And again, this is all matching numbers. It's got some wear on it, but still in pretty good condition in that. It will clean up just fine. And the top cover is pretty well worn and everything, but there's no major dents or stuff like that, so that should clean up pretty good also. The rear trunnion, this is another section of receiver, but the rear trunnion is pretty typical of the fixed stock AKs. This came with this wire folder right here. It's copied off of the East German folding stocks, the wire folding stocks. Some people don't really like these, but they're okay. I had one. I actually had bought a East German stock set years ago and put it on one of my AKs, and it was okay. I had actually put some padding right here, and it worked out just great. But this slides onto here, and there's only one spot for a screw. It's a small screw too, and there's these two holes here where roll pins went in into those two holes right here, and that would secure the stock a little bit better. And this folds to the right. The recoil spring is pretty much the same, but it has this locking mechanism. And this one, I can't get it to move, so I'll have to do some work on that. But it would lock the top cover in, so when you were firing the rifle grenades, it wouldn't blow the top cover off. The Tantal came with a 3-round burst, so you would get safe, semi, full auto, and 3-round bursts. And the trigger guard came in great. The mag catch is good and tight, great shape. With the 3-round burst, you can tell this hammer is a little bit different. Most AKs have these on both sides. This is smooth on this side to clear the 3-round burst ratchet system. So that's different. And this is the sear. You could tell it's got this notch on it for the 3-round bursts. The trigger, hammer, and sear will get replaced anyway with American-made parts to comply with 922R bullshit. But and then the trigger, you can see it's kind of the same. It's got these little notches back here. It's a single hook, and it's got these other holes in it right there for again for the through round burst. And it also had a selector. This would have been on the left side of the receiver, and this is what controlled the through round burst, semi and full auto. This is a safety selector. It's a little bit different than your typical AK selectors, and you can see it's got a hole to where this goes in it. And actually you can use these so you can put it on safety or fire from the left side if you choose to, which I'll probably add those two. Let's see. I keep all my small parts. Like these are, like I said, this was the most complete Tantal parts kit I've seen in quite a while. There's some small parts in there, and there's some smaller parts and stuff in here. And I usually keep my smaller parts in here in these medicine bottles because they won't get lost and everything. And then if I want to soak them in like a solvent or an oil or whatever, I do that, and these work great. Just remember to, if you do that, just make sure you tear the label off, especially if they're not yours. If it's not prescribed to you and it's not a narcotic, they kind of frown on that if you have prescription bottles that aren't yours. Let's see. I think I've gone over pretty much of that, and I did get some extras with this parts kit that I wasn't planning on getting. I got a steel Tantal mag, which these pop up every now and then. They're not real super rare, but I don't have one of these for my collection, but as you can see, this one's well worn, so I'll be using this one. I wouldn't mind getting some unissued ones just to put in my mag collection. And it came with an oil bottle, which is kind of cool. It came with a bipod, which these were issued with the Tantals. And the original cleaning rod, which that's kind of cool. Some of these kits don't have them. They just kind of get lost or whatever. It did come with 3 of these stripper clips, and these were issued with the rifle also, these stripper clips. And then this is the guide that slides onto the magazine so you can load. These hold 15 rounds each, and got a cleaning kit. So some really cool little added parts that I wasn't expecting in the kit. But I've been wanting one of these, and like I said, I wish I would have bought one of these kits years ago when I could have got the original barrel. But Arms of America makes Tantal barrels that are supposed to be really, really good. Finding a original Polish Tantal barrel would probably, I'm sure you could find them, but they're going to be pricey. They're probably going to be $300 plus, for a decent barrel. And I know Arms of America has, their U.S.-made AK barrels are pretty good, and they're nitride coated, which that seems to be the new thing nowadays. And I have a Polish underfolder that I will be using an American-made barrel like that. But I can't think of nothing else. I just wanted to run over this real quick. So I'll be working on this here soon. It's just another project I got. And like I said, I got an amazing deal on this, so I had to jump on it. So, add to my Polish AKs. But anyway, I think that's about it. This video's gotten to be a little bit long. So, until next time, this is Metal Trooper 62 saying, like, share, comment, subscribe only if you want to. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Bye.